Sorry, I can't see all of you. Good afternoon. My name is Billie Eiselen, and I live across Mill Creek in Phoebus. And for those of you who aren't from here, Phoebus is the community that you're in when you leave the island of Fort Monroe and cross those bridges. That's Phoebus. However, I lived at Fort Monroe several decades ago, and my son started school in this building, if I'm not mistaken. So it's good to see that it is still so useful. First, I would like to thank, with others, the Fort Monroe Authority, Glenn and John and Robin and Susan and Aaron and Phyllis and all those great folks, and the National Park Service, Terry and Aaron, and his great folks, City of Hampton, the many folks who worked long hours to make the August 23-25 weekend a reality. The weather was agreeable, the different offerings well planned, the logistics, especially the traffic challenge, very efficient. This was an event well done. However, in my opinion, two things were missing. The year 1619 and the first documented Africans to arrive in English-speaking North America. On Sunday, July 28th, a long letter to the editor appeared on the editorial page of the Daily Press. And I'm reading. One long-standing myth is that the first documented Africans to arrive in 1619 in the English colony of Virginia were slaves. They were not, nor were they free. They were captives of the pirate, Captain Job, sometimes Job, and his crew on the White Lion, a Dutch ship flying an English flag. Captain Job traded the 20 and odd Negroes, quote unquote, for what it looks like victuals we would say today, according to the colonist John Rolfe. The first generation of enslaved Africans would not appear in Virginia until the 1660s, after a series of egregious laws denying freedoms to Africans in the colony were passed by the House of Burgesses in Jamestown. Thus began over 200 years of lawfully permitted slavery in Virginia. Apparently, few people read that. The main focus of this event, in my opinion, was slaves and slavery. The PR material generated was mostly about Fort Monroe celebrating 400 years of slavery. How on earth did this happen? What happened to truth, history, facts? One voice speaking the truth about 1619 was Dr. Cassandra Newby Alexander, a history professor at Norfolk State and a member of the American Evolution team, who appeared at noon on that Friday, August 23rd, on Another View, Barbara Ham Lee's radio show on WHRV. Speaking from the lawn adjoining FMA headquarters at Fort Monroe, Cassandra spoke of the arrival of the first Africans, prisoners on the pirate ship, especially Antony and Isabella, who were traded for provisions to Captain William Tucker, the commander of the settlement at Kictan, which soon became Elizabeth City, which in 1830 became, or later in the 1800s, became Hampton. They were indentured along with 11 Englishmen and 1 Native American, and were freed after several years and given land near his plantation in the area of Bluebird Gap Farm. Oh yes, Lieutenant Governor Fairfax did recognize descendants of the child of Antony and Isabella, and I can't see it, and the child William Tucker, who were in the audience that day. Fast forward to last Sunday's Daily Press. Perhaps the Daily Press did do their research to find that the story of 1619 and the first documented Africans to English-speaking North America still needs to be told, and it does say it has not been adequately recognized or told despite this Commonwealth's preoccupation with history. And to look at Sandra, following Sandra Campus. We need a historian at Fort Monroe. Thank you.
And